Hey everyone! As there are so many new Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield, okay, like some, I thought we'd take a good old first glance look at all the brand new Pokemon brought into this generation and assort them into 10 different teams to make them the best 6 Pokemon, working together for varying criteria, from competitive to gimmicky, as well as classic and staples, while figuring out the tiers these Pokemon could be. We'll be taking a look at 10 full teams of Pokemon for anyone to pick up and journey with in their new adventure of Pokemon Sword and Shield. This is a lot of organizing while the games are just coming out, along with the usual team OCD of having an equal differentiation of types for aesthetic reasons, but I'm sure one of these teams can resonate with a lot of fans' different choices. These will be chosen with only the new Generation 8 Pokemon to see how they can be assorted into the best teams for different players. Thanks for being here, and please make sure to hit that bell to subscribe as well as that like button. Also, let me know which team you like the most out of these 10, or your personal favorites. Let's begin. Number 10. Let's start things off with a decent competitive looking team. This is sort of trying to assign only Gen 8 Pokemon to respective overpowered team roles, and me just guessing which Pokemon are going to be strong. But looking at the Pokedex, I can really just gaze over these Pokemon and base my decisions off who looks cool and must be strong just because of that. Real critical judgment here. Assuming the legendaries are banned, especially Eternatus because it has like 14 forms and over 1,000 base stats like it decided to major in math, we're gonna pick 6 strong Pokemon for a solid number 10 best team. Right off the bat, gotta go with the pseudo-legendary Dragapult. Always good to go for the near endgame dragon with 142 base speed before they ban it like Garchomp. Safe pick. Then let's pair it with its dragon friend Duraludon. Some okay defense, more on the special side compared to Dragapult, and seems like a good beginning for the usual standalone dragons, with a good typing and decent enough speed to make it a treat while being able to tank. After that, it's just some combination of Inteleon, Corviknight, Eldegoss, and Darmanitan, or Colossal instead of Darmanitan because you might just want more defense and the guaranteed fire type to match your core swap of Inteleon, Eldegoss, and Colossal, instead of relying too hard on Zen mode. Zen mode looks really cool though. I imagine Corviknight can be a better Skarmory, while Eldegoss and Colossal muster up some wear and tear for your tag team of special attackers in Duraludon and Inteleon to lower the opponents to being unable to even deal with the Speed Demon Dragapult. This is just the first team, and while I imagine these guys to be in the bracket of at least being useful, Dragapult definitely seems crazy good, and Inteleon looks to have a high chance of being an upper tier starter compared to the Gen 2 Monotype starters at the very least. Number 9. We'll take a little break from the competitive teams, or really amateur, and have a nice, casually pleasing team. You've got your Let's Play channel going, you want a different variety of Pokemon to entertain your guests, all with different types to mix up the quality of your catches. I mean, first off, gotta start with Scorbunny here. Had Inteleon in the last section, you want to fire up your game system? Cinderace. Looking like a decently powerful pickup, and I want to pick Appleton in this team for the added comedic prowess you can develop in your commentary from its funny look, design, and maybe if you got one with Grookey, the overlapping grass types, you get one additional dislike, so gotta go for the highest chance plays here. Just rolling through the punches. Then you just have to get Toxtricity, the impossible fan favorite, cool looking staple Gen 8 Pokemon on the team, along with Copperjaw, Dreadnought, and then for the final pick is just preference on types you haven't used. I would go with a Tyranny even though it's the slowest possible thing, but it's got a nice little feminine look to balance out the team. Actually, even Galarian Rapidash has the exact same typing, and that same feeling you probably want for this team, so it's a good fit as well. But really you could choose between that and Grimmsnarl, as I'm sure a lot of people want to see the Imp, and it might be super popular. Especially with its crazy Gigantamax form. Even Poltergeist for the memes, and saying the same 7 Brexit jokes every episode wouldn't be too bad. You got some good evolutions to spread out amongst your episodes, so there's something to look forward to, and develop some feelings with your nickname Pokemon with the underlying hope to create a meme and BAM! Some fun for the whole family. Number 8. Seeing as we've had a team for Cinderace and Inteleon, let's jump in and make a nice casual aesthetically pleasing version for the LP starring Rillaboom. You probably want a dragon, and I see Dreepy being a go-to pick, but sometimes these late game dragons can take full episodes just to evolve and aren't as much of a surprise to see when they do, along with being incredibly late in the game, so it can be off pace. Well, what am I talking about? The EXP share is always on. This is significantly faster than older Let's Plays, so just add a Dragapult to the team. Even then, you could also choose between Dracozolt or Dracovish, but I wouldn't. You can. Might be a fun topic to commentate on, but I'm not the biggest fan of the mutated butter chicken in a dinosaur costume, or its equally rambunctious slow brother-in-law like they saw Bellsprout attached to Dodo and thought, we can do worse. But while we're debating on Pokemon and who came up with these, which is what I think people comment on my videos actually, we'll just add in a few more to the team with Frostmoth for that graceful bug ice type, Obstagoon to give you that nostalgic run back for people wanting to see Lanoon evolve, Bolton to give the dog and animal fans some love, as well as those loud electric type fans. And then Dreadnought really rounds out the team nicely with some Water Rock. I just remember Draldon is in the games if you want that dragon, but at this point I'm just leaning towards Corviknight. You get your steel type and get some nice bonding time with a classic starting route bird to be seen by many, and one that isn't Drag Assault, so even better in comparison. Number 7. Alright, let me try this run at a competitive team again. I'm trying to align what Pokemon might do well on solely Gen 8 soil from only Gen 8 Pokemon. So we've got Dragapult, that's a given. I don't think I can remove this guy from a team unless it gets banned. Then after that, I'm feeling some combination of, like, I could make some room on this team for Dracovic. I don't want to, but it's there. 2 dragons, 1 water, 1 ghost, seems good. Bolton seems cool, like a possible RU sleeper pick on this generation, so you can add it in as a mix-up on what damage it's doing. But then after that, we're gonna need some defense, and I imagine Okremi will be able to bring that in with some classic fairy status and flexion they're known to charm us with, and then we got some Rune of Grace and possibly Mr. Rhyme. Like, Mr. Mime was OU at one point, and sure it's really bad right now, but if they evolved it, it has to be at least twice as good as it was before. So PU to UU. The real strain comes from the fact that it'll scare away any Pokemon players under the age of 13, so that's at least half of your demographic of battles won by default. Really, I'm just gonna pick one of the Pokemon I mentioned before that come off as really defensive for the last pick, and not actually Mr. Rhyme. So Corviknight most likely, just to feel that need to swap in and call out Earthquakes for those 500 IQ Feels plays. Man, imagine if they took out Earthquake, that's like everyone's favorite move. However, I'm also trying to figure out how to scope which Pokemon I think are overpowered from this generation of about 80 or so Pokemon in comparison to the leftover ones being available in the dex. Tough job, but we'll get there. Number 6. For this section, I decided to compile a team of hardworking Pokemon to get as little views as possible in your upcoming LP. First, we start off with Scorbunny because everyone loves fire types, but then you bank it for a Squavette. We get rid of the love of stars, just chuck it away. Just go for a team of off-brand, in-the-middle Pokemon to fill things up. Greedent, Eldegoss, Pincurchin, Ididi, and then just finish it off with Arrokuda and Camarant. You get the smells of 2 overlapping types so the OCD viewers wanting only unique types leave, as little evolutions as possible so your training Pokemon entertainment is capped with no 3rd stage Pokemon, and preferably have them all evolve in the same episode off the EXP share always being on. You could find a way to add an Askew in so you could get 1 less evolution. With its design and look, you might be making too many decently funny jokes which could attract viewers who'll end up commenting, "That was an Askew joke you made there," and might actually lead to general success after finding out you have some personality. No dragons, no starters, just a bin full of traps and 32 episodes of Sword and Shield ranging from about 240 to 360 views total. This is one of the teams you can add your legendary Pokemon into to finish off the game with as well. Just survey which of your Pokemon has been with you the longest, probably Greedent, and like a backstabbing betrayal, just put it into the box like no Pokemon is safe, just one-shot everything with Zacian or Zamazenta for the ultimate anticlimax. Number 5. There aren't a huge flock of typings being added into the games in terms of new Pokemon, so if you're looking for a mono-type run, the best team to go for in this category would be a water-type mono team, as that's the typing with the most amount of new additions given to us. For this, we can start off with Inteleon, then go into Dreadnought, Barraskewda, Camarant, and then you could try to get both Dracovic and Arctovish. I mean, this isn't that bad of a team until you get those last 2 there, but at least one's a water dragon. Maybe not the most special looking water dragon, but it's one. But if you don't want to have to go through the trouble of having both by trading or whatnot, you could sell for a Graplock or Pincurchin since those are both aquatic looking Pokemon that could fit into your water gym leader dream run of Sword and Shield. You could just pass it off as a reference to fish-like Pokemon for a mono water type run like Flint did in Diamond and Pearl. The Fired Elite 4 member who sent in his credentials as having a Steelix, Drifblim, and Lopunny in his team of full fire types. I guess they did all have fire moves at least, and some Pokemon fans find Lopunny hot, so it's more fitting, but overall Generation 8 gives you decent enough choices to complete this sort of full-on water-like team in its Pokedex. There really were just no fire types in Generation 4. Number 1. Oh wait, that's not 1. Number 4. Now this is one of the most factually correct teams for any of you early Sword and Shield Pokemon players. If you want the best team for when you get the games early and want to leak it for people to watch on a stream, then you have to go with Phalanx, Toxtricity, Corviknight, Centiskorch, Inteleon, and Grimmsnarl. I imagine this team is good as they beat the game in 15 hours, went full Gen 8 and managed to get the game before it even came out. So while it might not be the team for Generation 9, it's definitely one to analyze so you can get into the mind of how to get those games early for the next round of Pokemon. Number 3. Okay, this competitive team is definitely a must-do. Let's just go full team Glass Cannon. Powerhouse with newly brought bricks. We bring in Drapult again. Then we just go straight into Inteleon for another ace in the hole. 2 sweepers, strong special and physical. Next it's just gotta be Cinderace, Darmanitan, and Boltund. Even more physical attackers by adding 2, and then some mixed damage with the even attack and special attack for Boltund. Now I know what you're thinking. Can we even use Boltund in an official competitive match if it gets drug tested? And the answer to that is not very likely because it looks like it's on Adderall. But what you're more likely to think is that this is just too much power, not enough defense. We need to add something more, and I get you, I really do. So our final Pokemon is Barraskewda, who gives the fish 136 base speed and 123 base attack. This is just team quickly knock him out. I mean, sure, we could have had a Rain Dancer to make Barraskewda even faster with Swift Swim, but the real challenge here is just attacking everything before we get taken down for your session with power and speed. Who would make this team where just brute force wins with overlapping water sweepers, one for physical, one for special? Who is out here making this team? Well, I guess me. But God just teamed together all the new sweepers from Gen 8. I can see it getting taken out easily, but I can't imagine using this would be a half-decent tree as a cathartic rush-down team with no setup and just complete aggression to match the younger days of playing Pokemon until you go up against a team of tanks and walls to just outweight you. Real good times. Number 2. For number 2, I thought we could show off what my ideal playthrough team would be. I definitely thought a lot of Pokemon in my competitive teams are on the higher usage side, but some of them may just not have the right kicks to go in with a full swing. For my playthrough team, I would probably just stick to my consistent pick of grass with Grookey from the start. Then first pickup, I gotta go straight for my boy Trucktricity. It honestly seems like one of the coolest Pokemon to me from this generation. Dragon Pulse is another must for its design, rather than just its stats. However, I gotta be more hipster and not pick it. Although I would definitely want it, seeing as I picked it quite a bit for previous teams. So with 4 additional slots, we just gotta go with Corviknight, Colossal, and then like Runerigress and Mr. Rhyme, to hopefully be enough of a hipster pick to offset the team. Like, I could go Copperjaw instead of Corviknight, but my internal desire for a flying type because of the old school days of being conditioned into needing someone to use HMO2 is still there. The problem here is I don't get a water type because I don't want to overlap Dreadnought's Rock with Colossal, and I do like fire. I also don't necessarily want to Centiskorch or Barraskewda here, and there's not too many choices. I gotta say, this is one of the hardest gens to team build with based on only the generation's Pokemon. I even like Poltergeist, but it doesn't have the completely full look compared to say Chandeler's look, as I jump on that for sure in Generation 5. Honestly, I would almost be down to swap over to the Sobble Squad and then fit in Flapple over Mr. Rhyme, just to have a nice fire, grass, water team. But I mean, we're really shooting our shots out here with the old man and his cane as a filler pick anyways, so I guess this is the Grookey gang featuring the creepily retired Gen 1 Pokemon. Number 1. Now this one is what I looked up after trying to guess which Pokemon would be overpowered, but I thought we could assort the Pokemon Reddit was going on about as being the powerful Pokemon to get. Again, just Dragapult, nothing out of the ordinary here. First comment that it's insane, but then we get Hatterene, but with Trick Room. An argument between Inteleon and Rillaboom, where Inteleon ends up as the winner. Someone else confident in Cinderace too, so our Gorilla Boy just gets shafted. A Corviknight pickup saying it'll outdo Skarmory, and one guy just saying he'll use Corsola on his team. And who am I to argue with Reddit? This is the team. Thanks for taking a look at a bunch of teams I could come up with for this top 10. It was definitely a lot of fun trying to guess where these Pokemon tiers would be. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more, and until next time, I'll see you all here.